Hello friends, welcome to my new video. This is the continuation of my previous introduction video regarding the SSIS ETL development solution. So we are developing an ETL solution and using SSIS in a step-by-step basis. For better understanding, I make very short videos that is less than 10-minute video. So in this video, we are going to create an ETL solution. Okay. In in every data warehousing applications, we have some source files which are coming in a daily basis or monthly basis or yearly or quarterly basis. So in this solution, we have the source file, CSV file. We have a source file which is a CSV file, and we have multiple files. So the folder structure is that we have an input folder uh, and the output folder, error folder, and archive folder. In input folder, the source files are coming into this input folder. Output folder, as of now, we are not using the output folder since we are not creating any output file. Error folder, if the format of the source file is not incorrect, then that file will move to the error folder. Archive folder, uh, after processing the incoming files, we will move the files to the archive folder. So the scenario is only the CSV files with the naming convention customer underscore should load into the destination table. If multiple files exist, need to load all the files. After processing the files, we will move the files into the archive folder. If any files exist other than the above naming convention, that is customer underscore should move those files to the error folder. So any files beside this naming convention, we should not load those files. We will load to the error folder. We will move those files to the error folder. So we need a for each loop container to loop through all the files and load one at a time. So we need to use for each loop container and file system task for achieving these four points. So we use for each loop container, file system task, and the source is the flat file source. We flat file source, and destination is the OLEDB destination, and the connection manager, we have a flat file connection manager and OLEDB connection manager. Okay. I will show you the input files. So we have two input files, which is a CSV file, and each input file has 5,000 rows. Here we can say that it is 5,000 rows. Okay. 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 Let us move to the SSDT. I already created a two connection manager. That is first one is OLEDB connection manager to establish connection to the destination table, and second one is the flat file connection manager to connect to the CSV source file. Okay, and I already created a three variables. First one is actual file name, the input file path, the folder path will be stored in the input file path variable, and file name pattern. In our scenario, only the customer the file name starts with the customer underscore should only load to the destination table. For that, I created a variable file name pattern, and the file name pattern should stored in the file name pattern variable. And actual file name, this is for using the for each loop container for storing the file name, actual file name. So let us drag and drop for each loop container. Okay, I placed a for each loop container. For configuring the container, I double click on the container, so it will launch a editor window. In general tab, we does not make any change in the general tab. In collection tab, we have two files in the input folder, so we need to change the enumerator. In default enumerator is for each item enumerator, but we need for each file enumerator to loop through all the files in the input folder. And second property we need to change is the folder, so we need to give folder path here, and files of here we need to specify the file name pattern. So I already store the this values for folder path and the file name pattern in a variable. So for these two properties I created an expression. So in expression, click on the three dot, and in property we have a directory property. Directory property is the folder path. So in an expression, I choose the variable input file path, and next one is the file name pattern. So here the property file spec is there, and I choose the variable file name pattern. Click OK. Then retrieve file name. Here name and extension means it will give the file name and extension. Fully qualified means path, file name and extension. Name only means only it will give the file name only. So the default is fully qualified, and I choose the fully qualified. In variable mapping, that it will give the path, file and extension. So that value will be stored in this variable. So I already created an actual file name variable, and that value will store in actual file name variable. Okay. So we completed the configuration in for each loop container. Next we want to place a data flow task. In data flow task, we need to create a source and destination. In I already created a Flatpak connection manager here, so I refer that Flatpak connection manager name here, or otherwise we can create a connection manager by clicking the new. In columns, these are the columns in the Flatpak. Okay. Next one is we need to place a destination, OLEDB destination. And I create a link between source and the destination. In OLEDB destination, I already created an OLEDB connection manager, so I mentioned that name, that connection manager name in here. And the data access mode is choose the fast load, and the name of the table. I already created a customer table for uh, for uh, customer destination table. So I choose the that table here, customer, and mapping is already done. Then okay. The last step that we need to do is make the flat file connection manager as dynamic. For this, right click on the flat file connection manager and then choose properties. In properties, there is an expression. So click on the three dots on the right side. Then we have a property connection string. In connection string, I choose the actual file name variable. So the actual file name variable has the file name, file path, and file name and the extension. While running the for each loop container, that value will be stored in the actual file name variable. Then click OK. Then OK. So the configuration is completed. So in our the two scenario is completed. First scenario is by using for each loop container, and second scenario we are using for each loop container. So here we use for each loop container and the data flow task. For each loop container is used for loop through all the files in the input folder, and the data flow task is used for loading the destination table from the flat file source. Then I am going to execute the package. So the package execution is completed. So in SSMS, you can select the customer destination table. So the uh, records are loaded into the destination table and has 10,000 rows. So all the two files are loaded into the destination table. So in the third scenario and fourth scenario, we will discuss on the next video.